Good morning. This is Ashwini here from Talwalkar's Better Value Fitness. Today we present you with this wonderful webinar on how summer is the best of fitness. We will discuss following topics ranging from fitness, weight loss, hydration, cool foods and skincare. Basically, in this, we will explain you how summertime can be an ideal time to incorporate changes which will help us to lose weight and improve our fitness index. At the same time, it's very important to remember that while working on our goals during summer, we need to take special care about keeping ourselves fully hydrated and consume enough fluids. Well, food is another topic which we are going to speak on. It's a topic where we will explain you what foods to consume during summers which will help us to beat the heat and keep our body cool. And last but not the least, we will also explain about certain skincare and hair care regime to follow which will help us maintain our lovely complexion and lustrous locks. There is a survey which is done by NFHS, which is National Family Health Survey, a national body which reveals that as many as 30 million Indians are overweight. The survey itself is an eye-opener. Growing obesity is a big concern. The trend is seen on rise, especially in younger generation, bringing with it a whole lot of obesity-related disorders like diabetes, hypertension, and which is quite scary. To eradicate this problem, the only solution is to create an awareness across masses about the multifold benefits of eating right and being healthy. Now, when we discuss about eating right and being healthy, the most important topic is weight loss, a topic which is vastly spoken, read about and everything. But most of us also have at some point of time tried to lose weight, correct? So first let's find out what is body weight. Body weight is the total of lean body weight and body fat mass, which means that lean body weight is basically the sum of muscle mass and bone mass. So do we really require body fat? Of course we do. Every body requires some amount of essential fat which is termed as essential fat because beyond that there would be certain health problems which are there. So when we talk about losing weight and losing body fat, we have to lose only the excess fat in the body. Now, weight loss basically requires sustained efforts by combining it with eating right and activity pattern. However, every body is not the same. So, to lose fat, you need to make your own plan of what to eat and exercise right. When we talk about successful weight loss, we have to manage it with a judicious combination of cardio workouts and strength training. The best way to lose weight if you don't like, committing yourself to exercises is to add fun-filled activities which can fit into our lifestyle easily. Weight loss will not suddenly happen with this, but yes, any of the suggestions will help you promote a healthier lifestyle. The most important but overlooked thing which we need to know is there is no shortcut to losing weight. There is no miracle diet or magic pill that will get rid of the fat overnight. Losing fat may take time and the speed of your weight loss would depend on the diet that you are following and the intensity of the exercises performed. So again I would like to re-emphasize it, eat light and exercise right. To achieve weight loss, we need to use fat stores in our body which require a combination, as we mentioned earlier, of cardio and strength training. Now, when we talk about cardio workouts, it's basically exercises which we are doing which helps our heart work harder. But before doing that, we need to assess our fitness levels and accordingly start the workout. Your trainer would be the best person to judge your fitness index. Examples of cardio workouts are walking, running, swimming, etc. The second aspect of exercising is combining strength training. Most of us confuse strength training with bodybuilding, but that's not the case. To simplify it, strength training would mean adding strength to your muscles to make them more stronger, to make them work more efficient. Regular strength training helps build lean body mass. And an increase in lean body mass means an increase in our BMR, that's our body's basal metabolic index, or basically the way our body manages calories easily. An improved BMR means an improved weight loss and also an improved weight maintenance. Isn't that great? So, if you cannot remove your chunk of time to a proper workout, remember to split your activities. You might be now thinking, how do we really manage it? Do I really have the time? How can I do it? But yes, you can. Outdoor activities or games are a fantastic way to get your family and friends closer and enjoy exercises without us even realizing it. Get outdoors, go camping, go to an amusement park this summer and try losing a little of flab. There is nothing better than burning up calories while having some good fun. You can, instead of just lazing around, you can join in the fun, enjoy a sport. Swimming is also a great activity for nearly every level of fitness. Combining a walk with a swim will also boost your metabolism. Often it is seen that as we grow older, we forget how to play. This summer, be a kid again. Dip in the pool, be a water baby, just do it. Pick up your space. Whatever you want to do, maybe if you have not done or engaged in any sports earlier, which you always wanted to, this is the time to do it. Get yourself moving. Instead of just sitting in the front of computer or television set, maybe just start going for a walk. It helps. The best part about moving out is the many ways you include, the more you expend your calories. Turning on the radio or just dancing yourself or just going out and shopping for things instead of ordering over the phone also helps you to burn the calories. It is easier to include short spurts of activity into the day rather than scheduling a large chunk of time. Moving in some way every hour for 10 minutes will add total of 80 minutes of physical activity. Isn't that great? Also, remember when we exercise with friends and family, it's a great way to bond. It's a great way to stay fit and enjoy some time. At the same time, we are socializing and getting fitter. A family that plays together stays fit together. Alternatively, you can also do something like going for a trekking. Organize some small treks with your family or friends. Head out early so you don't hit the heat. Pack some food and go out and enjoy nature. Another benefit of enjoying in the sun is you get a whole load of vitamin D, which is important, and they help us to have our bones more stronger. So the gist of successful weight loss again would be, remember, combining your cardio and strength training together. Now, when we are talking about our weight loss, another important aspect is our eating pattern. In today's technology-savvy world, we are constantly bombarded with a lot of information about exercises, eating right, but how much do we follow it? Even if we know, just getting ourselves to implement the basic rule becomes difficult. Today, I will share with you 5 essential keys which will help you to stick to your eating pattern. The first and foremost is maintain a food journal. Keep a food journal or a food diary. Monitor what you eat, how much you eat, what time you eat, and what have you eaten. Once you start cultivating this habit, you will learn to become aware of yourself. You will understand your own eating habits, which can be then accurately assessed and modified according to your requirements. The second important point is skipping meals. Often it is seen at times we are working, we are busy, or we are just not feeling hungry, so we skip our meals. But please don't do so. Eat small frequent meals. Even if you don't feel hungry, just grab a light snack. But eating at regular intervals helps your body to utilize calories better. Next, an important point is to keep yourself hydrated. Many a times body confuses thirst with hunger. So it's a crucial step to keep consuming water at regular intervals. Another thing is watch your portion size. This is the most important of amongst the 5 essential things. Often it is seen that we have a false notion that if something is healthy, it can be had in any amount. But hello, that's not the case. Even healthy food contributes to calories. Just because an apple is healthy doesn't mean you can have 3 to 4 at a time. Allow your dietitian or your nutritionist to plan out your portion sizes and ensure you stick to it. At the same time, if it is not sufficient, communicate. She will certainly accommodate it according to your requirement. Often it is seen that just monitoring your portion size does the trick. The next important point is eating high fiber food. This we have heard enough. Nowadays most of the food packets state that it's rich in fiber, high in fiber. So what is high fiber and why is high fiber required? Well, high fiber foods help us give the feeling of satiety or a feeling of fullness. It helps to prevent or manage our hunger pangs effectively. It also acts like a net and helps to cleanse our system. Examples of high fiber foods would be whole grains, vegetables, fruits. We must consume more of this. Also, another suggestion would be when we are having vegetables like cucumber, carrots, try not to peel them. Just clean them thoroughly and use them with the skin on. Even for fruits like pear, apple, we must consume them without removing the fiber to get all the advantage that fiber gives us. Now, when we are speaking about so much about weight loss, eating right, it is clearly known to us that once we are losing weight, we are becoming more fitter. Let's now analyze what exactly being fit means. Does it mean not to have any illnesses? Does it mean being cheerful? Well, first let's see what the WHO, that is World Health Organization, defines health as. Health is a state of complete physical, mental and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. And when we add another dimension to it of having an ability to meet the demands of physical tasks, it completes the definition of fitness. Basically, fitness, when we say it is along with health, we should have energy to pursue a hobby or engage ourselves in a sport for recreational purpose. There are multiple benefits which fitness offers. Let's see how improving our fitness or being physically fit offers us those rewards. The first one is weight loss. The second is more fit we are able to enjoy our life better with full zeal. We are able to live a healthier life. Being fit or active also helps us to reduce stress levels, as exercising releases feel-good hormones which keeps us calm and help body deal with stressful scenarios more effectively. Next important point is self-esteem. Self-esteem. Now what is self-esteem? Well, self-esteem is also termed as self-perception. It's also self-worth. But personally, I would like to correlate it with self-love, which means an instinct to desire or a desire to promote one's well-being. So we all must have a better self-esteem, and when one loses weight, gets into a fabulous shape and becomes healthier, one is able to deal with stress effectively. All this gives us a high self-esteem, which is good, real good, and you will be enjoying so much for life, so obviously your quality of life also improves. Now let's proceed to the next topic of how to handle summer heat and its effect. I'm sure most of you there are already excited and are planning of what can be done to enjoy this summer. Whatever you plan, do it today. Do it now. Don't leave it for tomorrow. Whether you're planning to start a run or planning to join on any sport or exercise outdoor in this hot weather, also remember to take proper care to prevent any health related illness. Summer basically is a season where its lot of heat is there. Summer heat affects our body. Exercising in hot weather puts an extra stress on our body. If we don't take care while exercising in the heat, we risk serious illnesses. Both the exercise itself and the air temperature increases our core body temperature. To help cool our body sends more blood to circulate through skin, which leaves less blood for the muscles, which in turn increases our heart rate. Also, if there is high humidity, then body faces an additional stress which causes our sweat not to evaporate from the skin. So what happens is the skin doesn't get cooled down, and this again raises your body temperature higher. The most common related heat illnesses which we see are basically heat cramps or muscle cramps. Muscle cramps are painful muscle contractions mainly affecting the calves, quadriceps and abdominals. Affected muscles may feel firm to touch. Your body temperature may be normal. Second, another thing is heat exhaustion. With heat exhaustion, the body temperature might rise as high as 104 Fahrenheit and you may experience nausea, vomiting, headache, fainting, weakness and cold skin. If left untreated, this can lead to a heat stroke. Well, what is heat stroke? Heat stroke is the end of the spectrum of heat-related illnesses. It's a life-threatening emergency condition. Here, in this situation, our body stops sweating to cool itself. Because of this, it can lead to a brain damage or even death. So, be careful and take care of yourself. During hot weather, when we exercise, watch for signs and symptoms of heat-related illnesses. If you ignore the symptoms, your condition can worsen, resulting in medical emergency. Now, the symptoms once again we'll glance through are the muscle cramps, nausea, headache, dizziness and weakness. If you develop any of the symptoms, you must lower your body's temperature and start getting hydrated immediately. Stop exercising and get out of the heat. Once you have had a heat stroke, you are at a high risk of getting heat illness. So definitely go and see your physician before you start your exercise regime. The best way, however, to avoid this heat-related illness is to keep yourself hydrated. When you exercise in hot weather, body loses a lot of fluid. So preventing dehydration is a key to manage heat-related illnesses successfully. Know your fitness levels also. If you are unfit or new to exercises, be extra cautious when working out in the heat. Your body may have a lower tolerance to heat. So reduce your exercise intensity and frequent breaks are required. It is any time better to take precautions rather than remembering all the remedies. Care for your body so that you do not become ill. Prevent your body from sunstrokes, thus keeping yourself in proper health. Avoid the midday sun. If you want, maybe you can start trying exercising in the morning or late evening when it's more cooler outdoors. It's possible you can also exercise in shady areas or do workout in a pool. Heat-related illnesses are largely preventable. And often, as rightly stated, prevention is better than cure. So keep yourself hydrated. It is the best you can do for yourself. Now let's see about tips how to maintain your hydration level. Water is the best option to quench your thirst. It is a key ingredient that helps keeping our body cool. With high humidity levels, sweat will not evaporate quickly. And as we saw, this prevents the body from releasing heat in an efficient manner. This is why it is necessary to hydrate and drink water even when we are not thirsty. Increase your water intake regardless of your activity levels. Second and most important, try and avoid caffeinated or carbonated beverages or alcoholic beverages. All these beverages contain preservative, colors and sugar. They are acidic in nature and act as diuretics. That means they cause a lot of loss of fluids through urine. Many soft drinks contain diluted phosphoric acid, which also damages the intestinal lining and therefore also affects its function. Also, it has been noted that an increase in intake of soft drinks causes a loss of calcium from the bones and moves it into the blood. So, try and avoid. Nature has gifted us with beverages like lime water, kokum sharbat, coconut water, raw mango juice. All this will help us replenish the fluids which are lost while sweating. Also, when we speak about Mother Nature is extremely thoughtful. She has provided with seasonal fruits which will help us keep our body cool during summer. We have plenty of seasonal fruits during summer which help us. Examples as seen when we speak about fruits. Let's see, watermelon, which is available throughout the year, is best available during summer. When summer rolls round, everyone loves to get their hand onto the crunchy pink stuff. But It turns out watermelon does a lot more than just quench your thirst. It has a healthy amount of vitamin A and C along with B6 and thiamine. Potassium, magnesium and minerals are the minerals which are provided. Vitamin A and C help neutralize free radicals that cause inflammation. The beautiful pink color of watermelon is mainly due to beta carotene, which helps in protection against many types of cancer. The high content of watermelon is part what also helps us to keep hunger at bay and helps in fat burning benefits. Second fruit which we get during summer is jackfruit. Jackfruit is an excellent fruit because it strengthens our immune system. Again, it also gives us protection against cancer and helps in healthy digestion. It helps maintain healthy iron skin because of its vitamin A content. It boosts energy because it has simple sugars like fructose and sucrose which immediately get absorbed. At the same time, both the fruits have no fats or cholesterol, so which are healthy options for us to take as snacks. Palm fruit again is another commonly known as Tadgola fruit, which is basically found in summer. It's rich in water and basically helps us to maintain our electrolyte balance. They are low in sodium and fat again is virtually non-existent. Now when we speak about the king of fruits, mango. Mango is one of the most popular fruit which is consumed vigorously in summer. People wait for summer sometimes just for the availability of mango. Mango fruit is an excellent source of vitamin A and flavonoids which have antioxidant properties which are important for a healthy immune system. Vitamin A is required to maintain our skin. Consumption of this helps us protect our body. It's also a rich source of potassium which is an important component which helps control our heart rate and blood pressure. Copper, which is another important mineral required for production of our red blood cells, is also found in mango. Now, another thing that we look at in summer is consuming vegetables. Also, when we consume vegetables like ashcoat, bottle gourd, cucumbers, they have a high index of water and hence they are an ideal choice for the summer. If we speak about ashcoat, it's a low calorie vegetable which is high in water. Hence it helps you with your weight loss also. It's not a miracle fat burner. We just need to include it in our regular diet and cook it well with less amount of fat. For weight loss, along with consuming all this, we also need to remember, as we said earlier, exercise right. Bottle gourd, another vegetable which is low in fat and cholesterol, yet high in dietary fiber. It contains 96% of water. Also, at the same time, it has high amounts of potassium and low amounts of sodium. So it's an excellent fruit, especially across age group and across all health conditions. It has water content very high, which makes it an ideal food to consume during summer. It's also very effective against constipation and other digestive problems. When we speak about cucumber, it is considered as one of again healthy food because it's low in calories and fat. It keeps our body hydrated and it's also more nutritious than having regular water plain, or you can have cucumber juice if you like. It helps your body be hydrated and regulates body temperature. It also helps in flushing the toxins out of us. A cucumber another is important in silica, magnesium and potassium. All this stuff is important for maintaining healthy skin. It also can give us relief from sunburns which are caused during summer. It also aids in digestion and promotes healthy joints, that's the bone joints. It's because it's an ideal food and very low in calories. It is almost always consumed during weight loss. Now when we talk about green leafy vegetables, remember they are known as superfoods. They are rich sources of nutrients and have numerous health benefits. They are excellent for the content of vitamin A, B, C, E and K. They have excellent dietary fiber, magnesium, potassium, calcium, omega-3 fatty acids, you name and it's there. Green leafy vegetables are sources of antioxidants and phytonutrients. They not only boost our immune system but are also very helpful in slowing down the aging process. with this, now we come to our next topic of how to take care of our skin during summer. Summer is a lovely, bright and a sunny time, but we need to take care of our skin because in summer season the body gets evaporated easily and the water sources get dehydrated. The heat absorbs a lot of water from our body. So once the body is dehydrated, it suffers from many ailments which we saw earlier. Apart from all this, what happens is we try and generally see that the skin is looking very dull and plague and drained in the holidays. An important and a simple thing would be keep your skin clean. Regularly do the cleansing, minimum twice or thrice in a day at least. Don't use harsh chemicals. Use plain water or some mild stuff which will help with your skin. Toning is another required. Preferably use something with rose water which will again give a cooling effect to the skin. Moisturize your skin, or best use a sunscreen with the inbuilt moisturizer. When we are leaving home, 15 minutes prior to that you need to use a sunscreen lotion. Use a lotion which is suitable for your skin. It not only guards you from the harmful UV rays but also protects your skin from the infections, particles and the dust particles around. Drink plenty of water again. Then when we speak about dressing up during summer, preferably use a lot of cotton, linen clothes which are light pastel colors because it will help you reflect the light, as light clothes absorb less of heat. If possible, wear a wide brimmed hat. You can also try and carry a sun protector like an umbrella. Cover your eyes with good glasses. Also, when we speak about skin care, we must remember to take care of our hair as well. Hair is mostly exposed to harmful rays of sun, thus making them weak. Apart from the sun rays, the pollution in the environment also affects the health of hair. They need to be maintained properly. Here are some tips which will help you to stay away from messy hair. Cover your head with good cotton scarf that will guard your hair from the harmful ultraviolet rays. Use mild shampoo for washing your hair. Secondly, also use a conditioner or a serum which will give you a protection from the sun. Now, we would like you to ask your questions. There is a screen which shows post the question. You can click on that, type your question and send your question. We will be glad to answer your questions. Okay, we have a question from Sheila here from Cochin. She is asking which sunscreen should we use. Okay, Sheila, that's a good question. Sunscreen, as I said earlier, gives us protection from the ultraviolet rays. Use the sunscreen according to your skin type. There are loads to choose from the market. One thing you should remember is you need to check the label. Check the label because it generally states for which skin type it is available. Also remember to refresh it if you are staying for a long time in the sun. Second question is from Arnav from Delhi. Arnav is asking us what exactly is cardio workouts? Well, Arnav, as we said earlier, cardio workouts are workouts which help basically pump more blood. Example are swimming, walking, running. So if you want to do a cardio workout, as I said earlier, get your fitness levels assessed and then get started. Another question we have is what aged people need to make summer bearable? Well, that's an important and an interesting question because we have seen that as we age, there are certain sensations which go a little slow. The best way to handle summer by aged people would be again, keep yourself hydrated, consume light foods, avoid fried and hard foods which are high on preservatives. That would really help. Also, if you don't feel too hungry during summer, you can try and take more of buttermilk, coconut water, which will help to keep your body also cool. Chirag from Mumbai has a question for us. He is asking, among the cardio exercises, which is the safest? Is it walking or swimming? Well, Chirag, both exercises are equally good. Walking is an exercise which helps you and can be done any time of the day. It doesn't require any special equipment. So if you commit yourself to a walk, there is no way you can have an excuse that I didn't go walk because of so and so. Swimming is another excellent cardio workout because it gives you a full body workout. It engages all your core muscles together at the same time. However, when you're going for a swim, just remember to use a proper sunblock so that your skin doesn't get damaged. Next is Priyanka from Bandra. She wants to know whether fermented food cause weight gain. Well, Priyanka, no such thing. Any food that we consume has calories. Fermentation is basically a process which improves nutritional value and digestibility factor of the food. Fermentation process by itself wouldn't add to any calories, but yes, after we cook a particular fermented food, if we are going to add more of tempering or add more of butter or ghee, yes, only then the calories would increase. Example, to specify, if you are having something fermented like an idli, it's not really very high in calories, plus the fat percent in that particular food is also nearly negligible. However, if you are going to serve it after tempering it with mustard and all, then yes, the added fat is going to increase the calories. Trishala has a question to ask. She's asking, are Nutri-Bars a better option rather than regular chocolates because she has a sweet tooth? Okay, Trishala, Nutri-Bars, if you consume, if we compare it to chocolates, they are nutritionally better packed. But I would rather suggest, if you have a sweet tooth, why not indulge in some dry fruit or a fruit as a snack option, because anything packed would have some amount of preservative, color in it and sugar in it. Sugar, not directly, but the amount that you consume a bar at a time, if you compare it to the fruits options which are available, definitely you will get more options among that. So it's only to be taken when there is nothing else. Rajeshri from Chennai has a question to ask about pastas, whether pastas can be consumed, are they good or bad for health? Well, Rajeshri, pasta basically is a food which is made from whole wheat. They are nutritionally better because they have more of fiber in it. But ultimately it is the way that we cook it decides whether it is healthy or not. If you take a pasta with something like an arrabbiata sauce, it is much preferred because it doesn't have too much of cheese going in it. Whereas if you are going to take pasta with more of white sauce, then yes, you are adding to more of calories. So it's always not the food, but what kind, the preparation that goes in it contributes to the calories. Now we have a question, what is the best post-sun routine for hair? Well, this is a little tricky. Mahesh, can you please reframe that question and send to us? Another question till then we will answer from Mrs. Nambiar from Trichy, who wants to know whether olive oil is healthy. Yes, Mrs. Nambiar, olive oil is healthy, certainly. It is good for health because it doesn't have a higher percent of saturated fatty acids. However, when you are using any oil, one thing that I would like to suggest is you should take only as per suggested or as per requirement. Just because it is healthy, we cannot have it or have it more regularly or start cooking adding more oil to our food. Another question which we have got is from Dolly from Hyderabad. Why do we need to avoid soft drinks? Dolly, in the webinar we just saw how soft drinks are not good for health. Soft drinks add basically calories. We also call them as empty calories because there are no nutritional benefits which we get from soft drinks. Soft drinks are basically simply sugar, and then there are a lot of other preservatives and colors that get added to it. Also, as we saw earlier, they contain a lot of phosphoric acid which causes leaching of calcium from the bones, which is not good. Also, once we consume soft drinks, generally people use it along with meals, so they might not grab a glass of water. So what is happening is it is going to further trigger a set of problems related to your tooth. So dental decay is also seen due to consuming soft drinks. Okay, we have a question by Dinesh. Due to hot weather, exercising is difficult. Okay, I agree with you completely, Dinesh. That's what in the conclusion of the webinar we suggested. What you can do is either you get up early in the morning, you can exercise when the sun is not so really hot, or maybe you can exercise late in the evening. And difficult to work out. So workouts, even if you do late in the evening or early morning, that should help you. Then we have a question. Is there any way by which you can detan your tan body part? Okay, this is a question which is from Akbar. Is there any way by which we can detan our tan body part? Yes, Akbar, you can definitely. For that, I would suggest you to meet a dermatologist. He would be the right person to assess the extent of the damage that the sun has caused. So, accordingly, a solution would be given. Because whenever there is a tanning happening, the skin is getting damaged. So if you just try to do something by yourself, you might damage it further. So best thing, as I said, suggested earlier, Akbar, please visit your dermat. He'll definitely help you back. Mr. Adarsh has a question. He says, my skin is totally damaged because of swimming. What should I do to get my skin back to normal? Okay, any damage which has happened, if it is over a long period of time, it's not going to we cannot, try and undo the damage overnight. Obviously, it will take time. You need to start taking care of the thing. You can start applying moisture, applying sunscreen, and as I was suggesting, Akbar, even you should meet up a dermatologist because they would be the best judge of the scenario. What has to be taken, they might suggest you some treatment line because there are many things which we can do to undo the damage. And next time when you go for swimming, don't forget to use the sunblock. Second question which we have, another question rather, which we have from Rohan is, can I consume red meat during summer or is it bad for health? Okay, Rohan, red meat basically we don't recommend because red meat has high % of saturated fat in it, which leads to a whole lot of cardiovascular problems. Also, red meat has more of cholesterol, which is certainly not doing us any good. So best is, instead of red meat, choose white meat. Prefer to include more of fish in the diet, or if you don't like fish, stick to chicken, or egg white can also be consumed. Another question which Mandar from Pune is asking, does jaggery give us less calories than sugar? Okay, that's a nice question, Mandar, because generally people feel jaggery is healthier than sugar, so we can have jaggery. Now, when we are talking about fitness, when we are talking about managing our calorie intake, and when we are talking about portion sizes, calories coming from all sources are going to matter. Whether we get calories from sugar or jaggery, both are contributing to your intake of calories. Jaggery is healthy because it has a benefit that it gives us iron because of the process of making jaggery, but that we cannot overlook the fact that it also contributes to calories. Jaggery and sugar have nearly the same calories, so if you are looking out for watching your weight, you are on cutting your weight, if you have asked by the doctor to cut down on the sugar due to any health problems, then you cannot substitute sugar with jaggery. Next question is from Nagpur, which is asked by Vishakha. She is asking, should lime water be taken without sugar or with sugar? Vishakha, same here, it's your choice. Yeah, lime water by itself can be definitely enjoyed without sugar. However, if you like to take it sweet, there is no harm in adding sugar to it, but add lesser and see if you are able to adjust it in your total allowance of the day. If no, then I would suggest you to take without it. Similarly, I would also like to add another factor here is people generally feel if sugar is not to be taken, maybe we can substitute it with honey. Honey also gives you calories. So remember, if calories is the issue or when you are watching your calories, best is avoid it. Then maybe you can just take plain lime water. Next question comes to us from Madhura from Thane. She is asking us, how do I keep a count on how many fruits should I take? Can I take unlimited fruits because I feel hungry? I keep on feeling hungry even if after I eat. Okay, Madhura, that's another important thing. As we were discussing earlier about portion size, we need to monitor our portion size. Now when you talk about fruits, there are certain fruits which give us high nutritional value in terms of calories. Example, a mango. If we compare a mango to a watermelon, one medium sized mango around say 100 grams would give you roughly 70 kilocalories. But when we speak about watermelon, 100 grams would just give you just 16 kilocalories, and the amount is also quite high. So if I'm going to eat more of mangoes at a time, obviously I'm adding too many calories. But watermelon, even if I eat more in proportion, still I can squeeze in and fit into my requirement for that particular snack. So the gist is, when you feel really hungry, choose wisely. Choose which fruits you can take, which you should avoid at that particular time. I would rather also suggest you to make a note or maintain a food diary, because here you will understand why you are feeling very hungry at a particular time. So it would not be throughout the day. Maybe you have skipped your meals, or maybe you have taken a meal earlier which was not really sufficient at that point of time, or maybe you are missing your meals and hence these hunger pangs are there. So once you maintain your food journal, you will be able to assess what's happening or where things are, which can be easily managed and adjust. Okay, next question we have is by Anthony from Kerala. He is asking, is shellfish good or bad, or should I avoid it during weight loss? Okay, Anthony, shellfish basically is good or bad. I would rather say it is high in fat percent, it is high in cholesterol. So especially as you have mentioned, you are in the process of weight loss, then it's best you restrict it. Avoiding, yes, if you can avoid it, good. Otherwise maybe you can just restrict it to once in a month or once in 15 days, which will do the trick for you. Okay, next question is by Samir from Mumbai. He is asking, what exactly is trans fat, and from where do I get trans fat? Okay, trans fats are basically fats which are bad for the heart, as they cause oxidation and cause cellular damage. They are found in most of the packaged food. All shelf food mostly have trans fats. So the best thing is, if you want to stay away from them, is read the label. Reading label would be the nutritional labeling which is written on the packaged foods. Also, when we use oil which is reused again and again, where we fry a particular stuff, keep the oil, again heat it, here also there is a generation of free radicals which again damage the cellular tissues. So the best thing is, try and be away from packed food, because they are not really going to help. Or maybe some foods are good, but then, as I suggested, check the nutritional labeling, which is important. Now we have another question here which is saying, if I exercise too much in the sun, will I lose more weight? Well, Sumit, this question basically of exercising too much in the sun will not really help you lose weight. If you are exercising too much in the sun, it's not, according to you, too much would be maybe you are exercising for a longer time, but is it really helping you to boost your cardiovascular workout? Just sweating just because of the temperature without causing your heart rate to increase will not successfully help you. Instead, you exercise in maybe a little time when it's not too hot, but exercise and check your target heart rate, which will help us decide. Okay, we have a question from Jhankana which is interesting. She is asking us whether olive oil, whether a full body massage when we do using olive oil will help us manage weight loss. Jankana, olive oil basically helps us when we talk in terms of consumption or substituting it instead of other oils. When we speak about a full body massage, generally it is done for relaxation or helps in better blood circulation. If you are doing a full body massage with the aim of losing weight, then why not try some oils which are meant for the purpose. Olive oil massage helps you in moisturizing the skin and improving the texture of the skin. Would not really help you in weight loss or fat loss. Second question again, Jankana has asked us whether steam bath can be taken in summer. Okay, Jankana, see, steam bath generally people take after exercising to ease the muscle pain, if most of the time, or otherwise also if you want to take, just ensure that you are sufficiently hydrated. Drink a glass of water before entering in the steam bath. Don't linger for too long. Come out after your 5 minutes. Again, hydrate yourself properly. Take a cool bath, cool shower later, which will help you. Now, another question we have here from Firuza is, are Tetra Pak juices healthy? Now, Firuza, that's a good question you asked, because nowadays we see in the market there are tons and tons of fruit juices available, all flavors, all mixes. Now, juices, I would put it in a category as, a thing which helps us but not really very healthy. Reason? If I'm going to take a fruit, example, let's take a sweet lime. If I'm going to extract juice, a glass of juice from sweet lime, I would really require like 4-5 sweet limes minimum to get that one glass. However, if I'm going to sit and eat that sweet lime myself, I wouldn't dare to go beyond one. So what's happening here is, when I make a juice, I'm removing the fiber from it. I'm only making a glass of stuff which is sugar, more of sugar. Yes, you have your vitamins, but then you're getting more of sugar also. So what is happening again? More of calories are added. Plus, if I just drink the juice, I'm going to feel hungry faster because the fiber is eliminated. Whereas if I have a whole sweet lime, there is fiber. It's going to give me a satiety for a longer time. Second, anything which is there on the shelf is going to have some amount of preservatives. Some juices are there where the packaging is different, but ultimately it's not fresh as in fresh. It would only be a suggestion to indulge in these things when there is no other option. But if you can have a whole fruit compared to a fruit juice, that's any day better. Okay. Another question we have from Ayush Goyal is, he's saying he's lost around 30 kgs by a crash diet and some cardio exercises. Then he has met Mr. South India of 2004 regarding this. He is his gym instructor and he has suggested him some weight training. He's followed his recommendation and he is pleased with the results. That's good, Ayush. Now there is a lot of loose skin around his stomach and chest. What do I do about this? Okay, Ayush, see, when we are talking about losing so much of a weight, the first thing what you had done initially was losing weight by crash dieting and some cardio exercises. Whenever we do anything like crash dieting, what happens in crash dieting is basically we lose our muscle mass. Muscle mass is the good weight in the body, and when you lose it, there is a break in the connective tissues which is happening. Now after all this weight loss, now you're doing strength training and all, so I'm sure you must be seeing an improvement. But if there is too much sagging around the chest and stomach, actually it's very difficult to regain the original texture back. However, you can try doing continuous and sustained training, and you can also basically look at having certain body tightening massages which might help you. Next question we have got is, by Kiran Raj. She has a query. She's asking, why do I get cold and cough on running on treadmill, and what precautions to take? Kiran, I would like to ask you here, have you spoken to a doctor about this, or have you had any history of wheezing or asthma any time, or is there any allergy that you are having? Because see, at times what happens when we do a cardio workout like running on a treadmill, we are improving our blood circulation. Now if you have some history of wheezing or asthma, it can get aggravated. So best thing is, I would suggest you to go and meet your doctor about this. Second is, check if you are having any particular foods which you might be allergic and which might be just showing up. The symptoms might be just coming when you are doing the exercises. Now we have a question from Sumit here again. Sumit is asking, what is the right mix of exercises to normalize resting heart rate? Sumit, actually I think you want to ask is, what is the right mix of exercises to improve heart rate? Then basically you need to combine it with cardio exercises which will help you elevate your heart rate. And if you are asking how to get your heart rate lower, then yes, as you see, whenever we exercise, we generally start with warm up, then we do our workouts, and then we cool down. So in the cool down, what we are doing is basically doing breathing exercises and slowing our activity, giving space to our muscles so that they relax. So if you are with your trainer, just speak to your trainer. They will just check your schedule and accordingly suggest you how much time are you devoting to the cool down period, which will help you normalize your heart rate. Another question which we have is by Parul. Parul wants us to give her some suggestions for water retention. She's asking us for some tips on water retention problem. Now Parul, that's a good question, because most of us, and especially she's asking this question, she's mentioning water retention problem for females. Yes, we generally tend to have water retention due to various consumption of food, or maybe our lifestyle. Sometimes we eat late, or we have high foods which are high in sodium, like papads, pickles, even Chinese meal for this matter. All this causes a retention of sodium in the body, which tends basically to retain the water. When we get up in the morning, we might see puffiness, we might see our drinks getting tighter. Now to take care of all this, first and basic thing is increase your water intake. Second, identify the foods in the diet that you take in your daily eating pattern which have high sodium. So when you are going to start maintaining your food journal, you will get a fair idea what are the stuff that you need to avoid to prevent water retention. Second is, you can start taking a glass of barley water, or you can include something like coconut water, which would help you to relieve the water retention. Another question which we have here is more examples. Would they like to know more examples of high fiber food? Well, more examples of high fiber food would be green leafy vegetables, which is an excellent source of high fiber food. Again, mango also has fiber, but be careful because it also adds to the calories. Yeah, and whole grains. Then we have sprouts. Consume sprouts without removing the skin. Again, another thing is, when we take dal in our daily food pattern, then try taking pulses or lentils with the skin. Don't take them without the skin. This will all help you to improve your fiber intake. Yeah, and the best and the easiest is when we are taking wheat. Don't sieve the flour, use whole wheat flour. And rice, if you like rice, then yes, you can take the brown rice, which has more fiber. Now we have a question from Ravi. Ravi is asking a very good question. In fact, he is asking how to avoid foodborne illnesses during summer. Yes, Ravi, foodborne illnesses are seen on an all-time high during summer, because due to the heat and humidity, multiplication of microorganisms is on the rise. The best way to avoid foodborne illness during summer is try and be off eating outside. Eat as much as home cooked food, eat as much as fresh food, and also maintain hygiene levels. Piyush is asking, what is the best time to do a workout? A best time to do a workout, Piyush, it would be, I would say, according to you. Your time schedule that you can manage, whether you do it in the morning or you do it in the evening, it's equally good. The only suggestion is, if you're doing it late in the evening, at least do it like 2 hours prior that you go to sleep. That would be fine, or early morning would be better. Firoza has a question, which food is good for fat loss around the abs and waist area? Firoza, see, again, as I said earlier, any food that you take gives you calories. Every body has a particular composition and we have a particular shape. We might be a pear shape or an apple shape. So when we are taking any calories which are more than required, then they go into fat deposition. It's our body's tendency, or there are certain areas where the body is going to deposit the fat. So as such, there are no foods which will help you to lose fat on a particular area, but what is going to help you to lose fat on a particular area is basically doing a proper workout and managing or eating your calories as per your requirement. With this, we would come to our end of our webinar. Thank you to all the participants who were so active in asking us questions. I hope we have given you all the answers. So I would like to once again, re-emphasize and request you to make this summertime the right time to get fit. And believe me, once you are on the path of fitness, it's very contagious. You will stick to it for a life. Also, one more small thing that I would like to share with you is, research has shown that if you stick to a new eating pattern and exercise plan for like 5 weeks, you will stick to it forever. So which is really good. So all the best. Make this summer of 2012 the most memorable by pledging yourself to be more fitter and more healthier. Thank you.